I hope you got your popcorn ready because we're about to address something. I'm not sure if you heard about this or not, but we have Kimberly Klacik going up against Candace Owens. Ding, ding, ding. Okay, no. No, we're not doing that, y'all. We are not doing that. But wow, this really hit me really hard tonight. Hit me really hard tonight. Having a good day, having a great day. I mean, very productive, you know, working basically all day. This is who I am, you know what I'm saying? But, I love what I do. And I get home, put on my YouTube as I'm about to go back to work, you know. Man, I see this news that Brandon Tatum, the YouTuber Brandon Tatum, you guys probably know him. Great show. I really enjoy his channel. He's going in on Kimberly Klacik versus Candace Owens. And I'm like, dude, like I gotta get to some stuff right now. I got I have some things that I'm covering that are really important to me, right? But I had to stop what I was doing because it was so like, wow, what's going on? First of all, let me get this out of the way. This is Finally Cedric. This is my new YouTube channel. This is my new website. Finally Cedric, my new coming out really in life. I'm 43 years old, almost 44 years old, and it's finally my time to really speak to the world on a very spontaneous way, in a very spontaneous way. So the content that I create is very spontaneous. As you see right now, is anything that really touches me, hit me in my heart, that I'm very passionate, but also many times knowledgeable about. And this is something that I'm very knowledgeable and passionate about as well. So I had to stop something else I was knowledgeable and passionate about and go ahead and cover this. So please go ahead and give me a subscribe, a like, and a subscribe. That'd be awesome. Please share this video. I think it's a lot of valuable things that you're going to get out of this video. Because what I want to talk about is not Kimberly Klacik versus Candace Owens. That's not the kind of person that I am. And I hope that that's not how you are too. But I want to talk about the issues that are being brought up with this particular, this particular entanglement. Let's just put it like that. Okay. First of all, I want you to listen to some clips. I'm gonna show you some clips of Brandon Tatum here. We're gonna also see some clips of Candace Owens responding. We're gonna also see some clips of Kimberly Klacik responding to Candace Owens. All right. So it'll be about 9 minutes in all. The clips are not going to be long. I'll put the videos under this video along with the blog that I've already made for this video. So yeah, y'all. Wow. First of all, let me just say that I'm not on anyone's side. I'm just going to give you my honest thought about everything that's going on. So let's go ahead and roll it. And we'll go ahead and kick it off with Brandon because I'm going to show it to you as I saw it. My first impression was, why are we doing this? And I saw it in Brandon Tatum's live comments. Why are we doing this for? And I'm sure some of you guys and ladies are probably thinking the same thing. Why are we doing this for? So let's see exactly what's going on here.
When you hear a black conservative, quote, end quote, that X person isn't the voice of the black community, you know that that's a person you shouldn't follow. Let me tell you the biggest reason why Kimberly Klacik, two reasons why Kimberly Klacik is a complete hypocrite. And there's going to be more information, and I'm going to be glad to expose her when it come out. Trust me, it's some stuff coming out. Now, Kimberly Klacik makes the statement, and all these other quote-unquote black conservatives make the statement that black people are not a monolith. Black people are not a monolith. Well, let's talk about this for a minute. It is very consistent with a monolithic mentality, even though black people are not a complete monolith. It's monolithic in its mentality when you have black people voting 98% one way. If you did a survey right now, how many black people did not like Donald Trump or did not vote for him? It'll be 95% that'll say they don't even like him, and it'd probably be 92% or 90% that say they didn't vote for him. To me, that is a huge, situation where a group of people that happen to be black think one way in the majority sense. So Kimberly Klacik say black people are not a monolith, which I agree with in part, but yet says that Candace Owens' voice is not for the black people. So how is it that you say that black people are not a monolith, but you want a monolithic voice presented to black people in order to wake them up? Because I think everybody has a place. That's why I don't come out against people. Candace don't come out against people, because just because I disagree with your approach don't mean that there aren't people that may like you. That there aren't people that may like your approach. You do you and I do me. Candace Owens does what Candace Owens does. And there are some people that may not like what she say and how she say it. But there's a million people that do. And there's some people that may not like how Kimberly Klacik and these other black conservatives, how they talk. And there's some that may have. The problem is that they don't really care about messaging. They're just jealous because the message of people who are just completely free to say whatever we want to say. I'm not running for office. Candace Owens not running for office. We can say whatever we want to say. We're not trying to get your vote. Because we can be free and say whatever we want to say and become incredibly popular, these people get mad because they have to kowtow, they have to bow down to the black liberal in order to get votes to be competitive in the districts that they're running in. And then they got to trick them.
Let me say this about what Brandon just said. Brandon is very correct in that he's making a lot of great points. And he is making a lot of great points. And again, I'm not making this personal to Candace or to Kimberly or to Brandon. I'm just addressing their points because I really like them all. Brandon is making some great and solid points in that Brandon and Candace are not political. They're not in the political realm like Kimberly is, okay? But however, I would also say it does not mean that you don't have a responsibility when you're saying that I have my heart and my soul and my passion in this conservative movement. But I'm not a politician, so basically my messaging is not for the people. But hold on for a minute. Aren't you trying to make an impact on the culture and on the society? So I get what he's saying, and he's correct about that. What people like Kimberly Klacik and myself, because when he says we're black Republicans and stuff like that, he may be talking about me in some instances. Of course, he doesn't know me like I know him, but he might be talking about me as far as, because I have actually commented on many of his videos, so he might have seen my comment or something like that. And I've been very honest. I'm always very honest. That's why I call my website and YouTube and podcast and everything like that. Finally Cedric, Finally Cedric is just coming out and just, you're seeing who I am, and in an actual unveiling. But I've been doing this on Facebook, I've been doing this all throughout the time. But what I'm trying to say is that what he's probably trying to say is, what people like me and Kimberly Klacik are saying is that our message, we do need to understand that when we are talking about the black community, we do need to have a better and smarter message for the black community. And I just think me and Kimberly Klacik, obviously, you're going to see that soon when she actually speaks, is that sometimes, and I'm going to give you an actual example with George Floyd, and there's other, I'm not talking about Brandon here, so I'm not going to go there with him. But a lot of black conservatives, Candace in particular, with George Floyd issue, it was mishandled. It was just totally mishandled. wrong timing, wrong message, and people like me and Kim Klacik were like, hold on for a minute. Now I don't know how Kim felt about it, but I can tell by the way she's talking. She was probably like, hold on for a minute now. I'm a black conservative just like you are. You know, you're no better than I am as a conservative or whatever. And you are seen as the face of black conservatism. Don't be looking at me like that, Brandon. You are being seen as the face of black conservatism. So therefore, when you speak, you must understand that people are looking at you. People who are not conservatives are looking at you and they're saying, oh, that's what black conservatives think, you know? So you do have a responsibility at some point. But at the same time, you are also very correct. You speak your mind, you do your thing. I do not like the way that Kimberly Klacik came out against Candace Owens. I will say that. So let's let Brandon finish for a little bit more.
And we
And we
standing in
standing
the
in the
way of them tricking them to get their vote. That's exactly
what's happening here.
Very good points.
These conscious conservatives, it's all a farce,
man.
It's all a farce.
And
another
reason why Kimberly
Klacik,
I think, to me,
is strange
to me.
I don't know what she's doing. I don't know how fair she is. But it's strange to me when I see people running for office in these unwinnable seats. When you are on the campaign, if I ran for office, I know if I have a chance or not. I should have done my research and know how many registered Republicans and Democrats are in my district. And if I know that there's 5 times as many registered Democrats in my district, I should sit back and realize and say, I'm a Trump supporting conservative. Doing the math. If the district is majority Democrat, the fact that I'm running as a Republican in the first place is going to be an odd situation for me. Then the fact that if you poll most Democrats, they do not like Donald Trump, and they do not like conservative values. So unless I'm Jesus Christ in the flesh, you're not going to come down and flip 90% of Democrats that have been voting for Democrats for 100 years.
Great points. I will say that was what I was thinking when Kimberly was running. Are you sure you want to run in Baltimore? But then I said to myself, well, maybe I'm looking at it the wrong way. Maybe she has courage. Maybe she's going to win this seat. And I'm going to be like, oh, wow, I'm glad you ran in Baltimore. Now you can make a change and a difference, you know. But at the same time, I've learned in life what Brandon is saying is correct, you know. Bad idea does not mean that her motives are wrong, as he's saying in this particular video. So let's go ahead and go to Miss Candace Owens now. This is from the Insta Live TV. As you see, Insta Live TV. So let's see what Miss Candace has to say here in defense of herself. Let's see here. And I'm going to respond to it.
Just did a quick lie, but I just basically wanted to say that I'm really tired of people using my name for publicity and for clicks, and people in the conservative movement who publicly say stuff about me and then privately message me and say, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean that, or I meant this, and then publicly say something about me again, and then privately, oh, can I come on your show so we can talk about it, or will you endorse me for this or endorse me for that? It's a game that needs to be shut down. I'm tired of the scam of people who are running in districts that they know that they can't win. There's a lot of people doing this right now. It's a new trend, and millions of dollars. They make a flashy video, and millions of people donate to this campaign knowing nothing about that district. And then once the campaign is over and they lose by, 90%, then it's suddenly like no one knows where the other millions of dollars went, but like they're gonna run again and keep running and losing. So I decided to actually solve this, and I thought that the best way to solve it is actually to team up with Corinne Tatum. If there was just one website that you could go to that you could touch the district and you could actually download a report on the candidates that you are thinking about giving money to and know criminal history, how many times have they changed parties, how much did they raise in the last election, like, if you knew someone raised $20 million and then was running again, well, then you would say, why am I giving you money? Shouldn't you have money from your last election that you lost by? I think it's time for conservatives to create that platform, and I'm going to build that into Blexit, and it will literally be a very easy to use map, and have Corinne Tatum, run point on it, because she's already kind of doing a lot of this stuff for free. So, I'm upset and annoyed that I am constantly told to take the high road, and I constantly have to deal with people that like to be funny in public and different in private. But I think the best way to do it is to spin it into a tool that would be productive for all conservatives to know who exactly it is that you're giving to. So, end rant. Always turn a negative into a positive.
Okay, so here is the tweet that started it all. I'm like, okay, so because I heard Brandon Tatum say in his live what Kimberly said, but it wasn't in a total ba 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 bam tweet. He didn't show the tweet and everything like that. So here's the tweet, and this tweet is like on fire. Kimberly Klacik says, "Yes, there's a total disconnect here, and her. Oh, I think she misspelled. Her and I have. Oh, hold on a minute. Let me read this again. There's a total disconnect here. Oh yeah, right here, and I have had enough." She talks about black people constantly, but never talks to black people. She has a show and a platform, and she could bring in guests from undeserved communities. It's absolutely on her. So Candace goes back to her and say, "I just privately asked you to come on my show to cover your charitable efforts in the black community via your charity. So are you going to come?" Okay. So wow. Wow. I mean, like, this is not what I wanted to see. I don't like this. I like both of them. They have their own space and everything like that. Um, wow. Like, when I first thought of this, I'm like, okay, like, you guys are like going at each other because you're in the same like arena, you know. Um, Fine black conservatives. All right. How about that? Fine black sisters who got a voice. All right. Um, Kind of like in that arena. So you don't like to see them going against each other. You want to see them working with each other and things of that nature. Um, and yeah. But I will say that I totally understand what Kimberly is coming from. This is something that I have been saying about a lot of black conservatives. It's something that we do have to work on. It's an imbalance. It's very simple. I'm not going to go into it right now. Read my blog. I'm going to put it under this video. It's just, there's an imbalance because yes, if you are a parent, then you understand that you have to give them a lot of love, and then you also and a lot of truth. And we're good at that as conservatives, giving it to black people. Excuse me. You have, to, you have to give them a lot of truth. You have to give your children a lot of truth and a lot of discipline, right? We're good at giving black people that as black conservatives and as conservatives. This is not just a black conservative thing. But what we fail at, in my opinion, is we don't give them a lot of love. On the other hand, if you're going to give someone a lot of truth, oh yeah, I'm gonna tell you the truth. I'm gonna tell you just like it is because someone need to tell you the truth. And oh yeah, I'm gonna discipline you. I'm gonna discipline you. You need discipline. But then you don't also give them a lot of love so that they know I care about you. I'm not just talking about you, No, I care about you, And so that's what we're missing now. How do we do that? That's the question. How do we do this? Do that? What Kimberly did on Twitter is not the way to do it. And so, yeah. And I think what we really need to do is grow. Speaking of Mr. Brandon Tatum, I have been watching him over the past, I would say, year or so. Maybe about the last, I would say maybe 14 to 16 months. And I've seen him grow in his ability to actually do that, to give truth and also discipline to the black community. But also on the other hand, give them love as well. So, and I think Candace is coming along in that as well. Um, so this conversation, I wish it would have stayed private. You know, I I wish this whole conversation would have stayed private. That the black conservatives who have a voice have that conversation in private and just do your thing. If that's your lane to have that discipline And to have that truth, because I've seen Kimberly do the same thing, all right, give a lot of, to the other side. Not just talking about black people, you know what I'm saying? But I've seen her give it to the other side. And I'm like, there's one tweet I think it's fair to just go ahead and show you, because she came out really hard at Candace. Right here. I was just going through her Twitter, because I was like, since we're talking about from her Twitter page, let me just go through her Twitter and just see what's going on here. And I didn't like this, I I didn't like what you say about Chrissy Teigen. Chrissy Teigen is a punching bag for conservatives, And I must say, rightfully so, if we're going to stick to just what we're talking about, just talk about the issues, right? This was not called for. That was wrong. So we have a little problem here. And you see what Brandon Tatum was getting at like, there's some things agenda wise. Like, what's your agenda when you start doing these types of things? So that's something to watch for. Look, I really enjoyed I really enjoyed what Candace had to say, because Candace, man, she was going in, man. I will let you listen to the rest of it, because I'm hoping I don't have a problem with this video. But let me see if there's any more from Candace here. I will leave this video under my video as well, so you can watch the whole thing. Let me see if Candace says anything else. Let's see here.
Call you out, say, oh, Candace is not doing enough for black people on her show. My show's been 13 episodes in. I didn't create the show for black people. I created the show to cover politics. That's what I do. I talk about culture, I talk about politics, talk about whatever interests me, right? But all of a sudden, whenever I have any success, a bunch of people tell me that I need to use my show and use my platform to help them. That's how it works. And if I don't instantly do something for them, then they publicly go out and they denigrate me and everything I'm working on. We are 13 episodes in. I have.
This is so funny. This is like just the old thing where black person makes it big, they get out of the hood, and then the person's like, you never do anything for the hood. And that's what Candace is like saying right there. Is hilarious. That is just hilarious. I made it. And now you want me to come back to the hood and do something? That's what it kind of sounds like. But I will say that Kimberly has some points. She has some points. The same thing that Brandon is and Candace is accusing Kimberly of. I can see the kind of corporate mentality for Candace as well. I'm not saying anything. I said I can see. I have my TV show. This is my TV show, and I'm gonna project my TV show the way that I want it. And she's absolutely right. It's her TV show, has her name on it. She should do it like she want to do it. I'm all for that. Bam. But I will say this: as a conservative, if we know that there is no Democratic Party without black people, then we have to understand that, hey, okay, so when I'm writing out my agenda for my TV show, I'm gonna probably be like, okay. Well, what can we do to make my TV show not just a talk show, but I really want my TV show to really make an impact for the conservative movement, because what we want to see, we want to see Donald Trump's in the office, right? Isn't that what we want to see? How are we going to do that? Just having a political TV show, is that the only way that we're going to do it? No. What are we going to do with that political TV show? How are we going to, especially as an African American, and that's what Kim was getting at. I get that. The conversation needs to come in a better way. And I feel like that's what she messed up at. So I'm really understanding what everyone is saying. Valid points. We have to do it in a better way. So let's see.
Whoever I want to have on the show, not based on race, based on my own issues. But apparently, that's a problem for Kimberly Klacik. So today, she decided to denigrate me and denigrate my show. And when I've offered to have her on our platform, and now she's too busy. I just want you guys to actually see what I wake up and I go through all the time. There's just bad people. Like there's just a lot of bad people. And usually, like I said, for the last 4 years, I just take the high road because I'm just like, it doesn't matter. Just keep working on what I'm working on. Anybody else get this request? Anybody else not allowed to have a show or a podcast without being told that they suddenly have to become a platform for this or that? I mean, I just don't understand it. It drives me crazy. People.
No, and let me give you an example of what I would like to see from her show. Well, first of all, and Brandon touched on this, that Blexit is doing stuff like this, which is awesome. And I was like, wow, okay, great. I never heard that before. This was about 5 or 6 months. Because Brandon and Candace, they co-created Blexit or whatever. And basically, he said, yeah, we go out to the community and we do stuff and we feed people. And I'm like, wow, that's great. Why didn't you tell me about this? Because this is exactly what I've been saying that we don't do as conservatives. Now, again, this is not just about black conservatives. We don't do this as conservatives. We don't do this as black conservatives, right? We're all, oh yeah, don't fight the police and all this other kind of stuff. And, get a job and all this other kind of stuff. And yeah, personal responsibility and all this other kind of stuff. But we don't see also we act like we don't understand what slavery did to black people. We act like we don't understand what Jim Crow did to black people. We act like we don't understand that there is still racism in America. I've heard black conservatives say, hey, there's no racism in America, the whole Kanye West thing, slavery was a choice, and, as I understand it, Kanye was hanging around Candace at the time. I'm like, where did that come from? Ooh, I've heard that before. I've heard black conservatives say that before, and it's like, are you crazy? So when you hear Kimberly Klacik, what she's going to say is going to be boom. I'm like, yeah, Kimberly, I understand exactly what you're saying and where you're coming from. And yes, Candace Owens, any black conservative, it doesn't matter what their name is or what their status is, Candace Owens, Brandon Tatum, they have a responsibility to also project the full message of who we are as African. Yes, they do have a responsibility. You just can't say, oh yeah, well, I'm not black. I'm an American. I'm a conservative. This is who I am. No, you're also an African American, but you are also a human being, and that's where both white and black conservatives are missing it. So let's go ahead to Miss Kimberly Klacik now, since we had a good little bit of Miss Candace Owens.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Happy Father's Day. So I've been seeing a lot of comments asking me to address this Candace Owens situation. Number one, you guys know I have a full-time job trying to get candidates in the House in 2022. This is what she does all the time, is just talk and stuff. So she has time for this. I can go Instagram Live with her if she wants to pick a day and a time, and we can talk about this on live. I know she wants me to go on her show. Number one, I don't usually let people profit off of a conversation with me. Number two, I think that could be edited, especially now that I know the show isn't live. It's like a show that's being streamed online or something. So I'd rather go live so everybody can see everything in its entirety. But you know what? I still stand by my statement. For me, we have a lot of people that are very loud and very wrong about what's going on in these inner city communities. Black people are not brainwashed, as she says. They are not on a Democratic plantation. They are not trained chimpanzees. I know she once made that comment. We are not monolithic. We are really intelligent people. And it's interesting that she says these things because she herself is black. So she's actually talking about herself at the same time, which I never could understand. But unfortunately, in inner cities, we have a problem with the fact that the GOP isn't present, right? You can't vote for a Republican if they're not running in the inner city. And so that goes back to her other comment as Miss 27%. In Baltimore City, a Republican has never gotten more than 4,000 votes. I got 14,000 votes within 3 months, and that is because we worked hard, we engaged the community, and we're still out there and trying. It's going to take time. You got to chip away at these things. But to throw the 27% up as an insult, it's not an insult.
Wow, Kimberly is making some very, very good points as well. She really, wow, when I heard Brandon, I'm like, wow, he's making some good points. It's kind of like the OJ case. I'm not sure if you were alive when the OJ case was on or not, but as a teenager, I'm sitting here watching the defense and the prosecution. Oh yeah, and there are blood leaking all the way down to OJ's house, and from the people who got murdered. I forgot her name. From OJ's ex-wife house to all the way to OJ house, and then we found this glove, and they're like, "Wow, this guy's guilty." And then Johnny Cochran and his defense team comes up, and they're like, "If it doesn't fit, you must acquit." I'm sorry, and it's like, "Wow, he's innocent." And it's like, and when the prosecution's up, he's like, he's guilty. When the defense is up, it's like he's innocent, and this is how I felt like watching each video. It's like both all the three of them have made great, compelling statements in defense of themselves. Wow, all of them have made great points, but it for me as a Christian, and that's how I see these things. I will say this is that the conservative movement. This is where the liberals are winning. The liberals are winning because they are able to make passionate human pleas. Even though they're lying, they're stretching that truth. They're stretching that truth, or they're straight up lying. They're making passionate pleas to the American people, and they're doing it by getting into people's hearts and minds. And what we're doing as conservatives a lot of times is we're saying we're making the intelligent argument, and we're like, don't you see what I'm saying? Don't you get it? I'm intelligent. I'm giving you the facts. I'm laying out the facts to you. And yeah, it should matter to people. It definitely should matter to people. And yes, I do agree that African Americans are on that plantation. They're on that Democratic plantation big time, baby. So I disagree with that. And and I do think that Branham is correct that now that I've heard her more, it sounds like she's trying to be like, oh, please like me, black voters in a area where in that city where you probably should not be running. Okay, you did it once. I'm not sure if you plan on going back again, but we need to be smart and wise where we run. Now, every now and then, if you want to throw a wild card, you want to roll the dice and, but you got to understand that you are gambling, all right? There's a great candidate, Meet Kevin. He's also a YouTuber. He's running for the governor of California. I'm like thinking to myself, dude, you have too many good ideas. Like, you're going to, he's running as a Democrat, but it's like, dude, it's like, you're really not a Democrat. I don't, they're going to see right through that in California, man. It's like, I wish you would have ran somewhere else. You have great ideas. I'm trying to think of somewhere else that I was like, man, I wish, John James in Michigan. I'm sorry, brother. I wish you wouldn't have ran in Michigan. Great candidate. Great. The guy could be president one day. And there's probably someone that I'm missing right now. I'm like, even the conservatives in Michigan, I think there's a little prejudice problem sometimes. I'm just being honest, y'all. It's finally Cedric, y'all. If you like honesty, please subscribe and like this video and share it. But I lived there for like what 4 or 5 years, so I got a little temperature. A lot of great people there, great conservatives, some good liberal people there as well. But there's also a nice high little streak of prejudice and racism there as well. So when you run for office, it's a big undertaking, and we have to keep those things in mind as well. But what we cannot do is compromise for the people who we're running against. I see what she's doing, and I understand it, but it's wrong. We can't do that. Yeah. yeah, we can't, especially when we had to say, hey, you know what, I'm going to go at my partner because they should be partners. Candace Owens and Kim Klacik should be partners working together because they're public figures. Now, I went on Facebook, I called Candace Owens out, and Brandon said, I went at the issues, and yeah, I did have some thoughts about, basically like, hey, like, where's this coming from, Candace? Like, where is this coming from? Like, it seemed like there is some self hate there, with some black conservatives, or like some self non-identification. I'm not going to identify with my color, with my race, but it's more than that. It's more than that. It's not about being black. It's about being human. And that's what white and black conservatives have to really understand. That's what I'm getting at here. And so I understand Kim Klacik, but I don't agree with how she's doing it or where she's coming from in some ways. But I do understand what she's saying, and I do agree with exactly what she's saying in other ways. So let's let her finish.
That was huge. We made the biggest gain in the entire country in a Democrat district. The biggest, the largest. We had the #1 political campaign ad. So I'm not hurt by what I did on my very first run for office. I think we did a fantastic job. I thank my team every single day. They're amazing people, and we're still all on board together. But yes, I will go on Instagram Live. I think she pulled my FEC report, which is public knowledge. Anybody can do it. She wants to talk about my nonprofit, which is public knowledge. Anybody can do it. It's not actual journalism or anything happening here. So yeah, we can talk about it. We can talk about it live in front of everyone, and I look forward to the conversation. I think somebody said she mentioned something about, the private plane. I can talk about that too. I ran a good race. I ran an honest race. We raised $8.4 million, and I paid myself $0. I'm the one that did not take pay, because this is not for money for me, okay? This is not about money. This is about changing Baltimore City for the best, and it's about making sure we continue to build on the Republican Party. So I look forward to having the conversation. I hope everyone's enjoying their Father's Day, but what we're not going to do is not put respect on my race and my name.
Oh, my name. Sorry. Oh man, that was funny. That was good. That was really good, y'all. If y'all not familiar with her video that she did, that really and go and subscribe to her YouTube channel. Go and subscribe to Brandon Tatum's channel. Go and subscribe to Candace Owens' channel. And I think she's with, who is she with? The company that she's with now. I forgot. I think it's also for L or something like that. I can't remember. They have some good content as well. Please go and subscribe. And again, let's come together, y'all. Let's come together. This is what brought Miss Klacik to the forefront. You can go and watch her video and things of that nature. Very, very powerful. Very, very impactful. And yeah, y'all. So what do you think? Do you think that this is called for? Do you think that this is useful? Are you picking a side? And how do you feel about what the things that I brought up as far as do we have to have a conversation in the Conservative Party and the Republican Party, and the conservative movement and the Republican Party about how we express ourselves to the Black community? Are we too racial? Do we treat Blacks with the same respect that we treat conservatives? Do we see them as equals? Do we see them, or do we just want to put them down and talk about them? Or are we giving them enough love? Do you think that we're giving Black people enough love and engagement and help? It's one thing if I'm talking about you and I'm saying everything that you're doing wrong, but I don't say, here. One hand I'm like, this is what you're doing wrong, and the other hand I'm like, here. Arms stretched out, it's a hug. Instead of just doing this, bam, giving the left finger. I mean the left hook, But I'm not giving them the right hook. I'm just giving them the left hook. You're not gonna win any fights like that, you know what I'm saying? But this is not a fight This is a hug. This is a hug, y'all. This is a hug. I'm gonna hit you with the left hand, and I'm gonna tell you what you're doing wrong. Just to get your attention. And because you need it, we all need it, right? Not literally, y'all. Not literally. Okay. I don't believe in whipping my kids. At one point I might have did that, but then I said, no, that's not effective. But on the other hand, I'm gonna love you. I'm gonna love you. I'm gonna love you. And I think that's what we're missing as a party. And the Democrats, man, they're like, we're not gonna be mean to anyone except for our political opponents. We're gonna throw all this love at them, and you see that they're winning. I mean, come on. We're not gonna lock nobody up. We're not gonna put nobody in jail. Okay, all right. We're for the seniors. We're gonna, expand Medicaid. We're for Black people. We're gonna, give them all this money for things that doesn't even make any sense. We're for, the LGBTQ. We're gonna make sure they get their rights. We're for the workers. We're gonna make sure that they have a union, and that they get minimum wage. Come on now. They're not trying to be tough on anybody except for the rich people, which there's not enough rich people to win elections. Hello, 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 hello. That's a pretty smart plan there. Now, what are we doing? Yes, there is a big, like, you you try to get into that black monolith that Officer Tatum was talking about. Man, that's a fight on your hands right there. And so Miss Classic and people who are trying to get in that monolith, you're trying to go into what is her name? Ben, Maxine Waters district, and you're trying to go into South Central LA and beat Maxine Waters. Whew. I love your courage. I'm like, yeah, let's do it. But I don't think it's smart either. You know, yeah, yeah. We have to be very wise. But at the same time, that wisdom says, I'm gonna love you. I'm gonna tell you the truth, but I'm also gonna look at myself. In the conservative movement, we do need to look at ourselves, y'all. We do need to make changes. We do need to have a better message, but it also includes, let's not do it in public if we can help it, and I think we can do that better as well. Many blessings to you. Tell me what you think in the comment section. Please go down in the comment section, check out my blog, and I go more deeper into this matter, and to each issue that we actually hit here and some that we did not hit. And also, I'll leave all these videos under the video that we just watched, so you can watch them in their totality. Many blessings to you. Please like the video and subscribe and share as well. Please go to finallysettled.com as well. You will find a lot of great things, not just about politics, but a lot about life in general, and about things that are impacting us in our everyday lives. And that's really what I was trying to say with this video, is what's going on in our everyday lives that really are going to affect us, and get the message out there, so we can impact people's lives, because that's what it's really all about, y'all. Many blessings to you. Have a great day. Thanks for watching.